Hello, I'm Jason Harkness and I play the tambourine for Acid Age.
And I'm Jude. I play guitar for Acid Age.
Well, actually, that's Jake and I'm Jude. Well, how do you think we've done?
Really well, I think.
This feels so
You're
fucking
amazing.
fake. Yeah, we've got really good reactions all over Facebook and stuff, and everyone seems really pumped, which is making our job a lot easier, obviously. And
Awesome.
yeah, so we're super psyched about it. Well, I think that that's because a lot of bands now, well, not even bands, but the music buying audience, I think it's a lot cooler to have the album on vinyl, but it's like a nostalgia thing, maybe.
It's special.
Yeah, it's like, whereas now, especially in this time, like, you can just like download a whole band's discography and own like everything they've done, all their LPs and all their fucking singles and videos and stuff in like seconds. And I think the difference is, you know, when you get it in vinyl, the artwork's a lot bigger and all, and you can read the notes a lot easier, and like the
There's more to
fucking
it.
special thanks. Yeah, I think there's more of an effort.
It's awesome. Yeah.
You know what? There is actually no story behind it. I just liked how it sounded. He liked how it sounded. You know, Jason, the drummer, liked how it sounded. Just came about like that. Just fucking
really
stupid.
nerdy.
It's nerdy. Yeah. It's like fucking sci-fi. You know.
It suits us.
Like, me and you'll just bum about and spend ages fucking watching gammy movies all night. Like, Kurt Russell movies, because Kurt Russell is the greatest living human being ever. Snake Plissken. Yeah, we listened to a lot of different stuff. Like, whenever I was learning guitar, like, one of my favorites was sort of Van Halen and, you know, all that kind of stuff, all that sort of shreddy stuff. And I think there's a lot of that rooted in thrash. Like, a lot of the lead guitar solos and stuff have that kind of same swing and vibe to it, and we kind of wanted to bring that across. We also listened to like a lot of the, you know, the new wave of British heavy metal stuff. You know, bands like, you know, Diamond Head and Witchfinder General, and you know, there's even like this new wave of traditional heavy metal, and we're listening to bands like White Wizard and Enforcer, and
Awesome.
like, what about yourself? Like,
Things that influenced me would be Iron Maiden from the start, and that seems to have definitely worked well with our band anyway.
yeah, because your whole style, obviously, is
Yeah,
like
Steve
Steve Harris.
and everything. Yeah.
But it's not always just like fucking metal, you know, because like there's a real punk edge to our song. Like, An Actor Hack is really punky, and I mean, I listen to a lot of fucking hardcore punk as well. Like, I love bands like, you know, Sick of It All and GBH and stuff like that, and obviously the Defects, and you know, all those kind of bands as well. So yeah, you just kind of, I think a lot of bands, whenever they're in their embryonic stages, they just rip the fuck off all their favorite bands. What happens is you kind of throw all these different sounds and ideas.
Create your own sound.
Yeah, you kind of develop your own style out of everyone else's style.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think?
It's definitely going to be Tiger and Tree.
Tyburn Tree. And why?
Because Tony Patari helped us.
Yeah, we actually had this cool thing come together where one of our main influences, like Tony Pataro from Whiplash, actually co-wrote a song with us, and the way that came about was just from being fans of him or whatever. I kind of jokingly, half joking, half not joking in a kind of way, asked him on Facebook, like, if he'd like to write a song, co-write a song for our first album with us, and he was like, yeah, sure, I'll do that. And we were like, fucking hell. You know?
Shit yourself.
It's really good tune, and he wrote the lyrics and all, and it's just really good riffs, solid groove. It's got like a real 80s feel thrash to it, but it's like really heavy too.
It's real headbanger, like
it's
real chunky.
just a beast of a tune. I think that's going to be one of the strongest ones, definitely. And John from Gamma Bomb's going to, well, he's appearing on a track as well, and you know, we've got a lot of cool things going on. Like, one of my favorite songs is "Don't Feed the Bitch," because like that's just the riff in that. Like, it's going to be excellent tune.
There's lots of diversity in the song as well.
I think a lot of people actually really like that one. You know, it's kind of like if you ever heard a band called Mantic Ritual, it's kind of got their kind of feel to it. You know, so looking forward to that. Well, I don't know. We just kind of write about what we like, you know, and I mean, if you're from Northern Ireland, you know yourself that there's enough bullshit about fucking politics and boring shit and dismal shit in the air everywhere you go. So
basically, there's too much to write about.
yeah, that's it. So we kind of, as we've said earlier, like we like Kurt Russell movies and we like fucking, you know, sci-fis and old horror and zombie and George A. Romero films and stuff. And we just think we'll write about that instead. And you know, it's probably, well, yeah, it has been done by before, like loads of bands, like even Gamma Bomb do stuff like that. You know, municipal waste. But it's just what we like. You know, we don't want to fucking write about, you know. Not that there's anything wrong about writing about wars and fucking politics. I mean, Megadeth and nuclear assault do all that kind of stuff, and that's cool, you know. But
just not us.
Yeah, do what we like, you know. Who knows? Maybe we'll do something like that later on, but there's fuck all about it in this album anyway. Yeah. That's a simple question. I think one of my favourite bands, they were like a new wave of British heavy metal band, Raven. They were called like Raven called themselves athletic rock because they used to jump around and go mental on stage, and really all it was you know, very 80s sounding British heavy metal, you know, and but it was because they were so fucking eccentric and nuts on stage, you know, and they still are. They're fucking great even yet. That they got their own like sort of wee slant on their own genre, and I think it's maybe we're not like calling ourselves innovators or acting as if other bands are going to latch on to it. It's just what we call ourselves because we like the fucking idea of being able to put your own twist, I think, on it, on, you know, your own style and stuff.
And we've taken influences from so many different genres. It just kind of makes one awesome genre.
Yeah, I think the difference. Fucking hell. I think jam. I think the difference between that and like hyper thrash, which is, you know, our like hyper thrash, and all the other styles of thrash, you know, like you mentioned, crossover and stuff, and you know, the classic Bay Area stuff. You know, I think what we're doing is because we like bands like Exodus and we like Testament and we like Megadeth and all, who are kind of like, you know, the first wave of thrash metal. And then the crossover, you have all your, you know, your suicidal tendencies and your d.r.is and municipal waste and stuff. I think because we like both those styles, we kind of, you know, try and like mix them a bit, you know. So it's
mesh them together where it's necessary.
Because there was definitely, I think, obviously I wasn't about in the Bay Area, but there was, or the original 80s scene, you know. But I think there was a definite like East Coast versus West Coast thing, you know, because all the bands coming out of like New York and Jersey were like more punky and more hardcore, and all the ones from like San Francisco at the other side of America were all like a lot more metal and
aggressive.
Sort of, it was like one side was taking their influence from Judas Priest and the other side was like taking their influence from, you know, Sick of It All and bands like that. So yeah, I think that's just because we like those styles. We're like very punky metal. That's what hyper thrash is. Hardcore punk speed metal.
Sounds good. Him.
Me?
Yeah.
Well, I was listening. Well, me and him, we used to fucking hang out and listen to music. And
so
I was listening to Visceral Attack. A lot of Visceral Attack. We both were. And
awesome band.
Evil Dead and Dr. Living Dead as well.
Yeah.
Evil Dead's Annihilation of Civilization album, and Dr. Living Dead.
Municipal Waste.
Municipal Waste, yeah. I actually remember one night we just fucking listened to like all of Municipal Waste's albums in a row.
Just sat there and had coffee.
And SSS. And just all our favourite bands we'd normally listen to, you know, nothing changes just because you're writing an album. I suppose you're still a fan.
Yeah.
You know, so. And then, like we say, White Wizard and Enforcer and Skullfist. And some local bands too, lots of cool local bands. Obviously we mentioned Visceral Attack and, you know, like we've played a lot of shows with Dominated guys and bands in Dublin, you know, like
Twisted Autocracy.
Twisted Autocracy, Snowblind, fuck.
Oh.
They're fucking rude, like
Snowblind.
Snowblind and Psychosis and fucking Exaltic and all the bands, all our friends and everyone we'd normally listen to. Eviscerator, yeah. We played a fucking class gig with Eviscerator recently. It was excellent.
Awesome.
Big mad party after it and everything. Fucking, there's pictures on Facebook actually of Jason, our drummer, sleeping on the couch. Well, he's not sleeping. He's passed out drunk, and I've got my ass in his face. So be sure to check that out. You know, facebook.com/AcidAgeThrash. Definitely.
Yeah. Of course.
We're hoping that it really becomes part of the, Thrashers' lives.
Definitely.
Let's hope that they're fucking listening to it in their houses and moshing around the living room and wrecking the place. So of course that's what any band that's blessed like us with the opportunity to put out an album on a record label like as good as Punkerama, because Gary's really doing well at taking care. Like Gary, who runs the label, really takes care of the bands. So anyone who gets that opportunity, I think they definitely, and obviously the label wanted to do well as well, So, but apart from that, I definitely feel that from previous bands we've both been in, all the songwriting and stuff is definitely it's at its limit at the minute for as best I can write, and and I hope obviously
best,
I hope we keep getting better. I hope our next one's better again, but sure we'll just enjoy this one for now. What do you think?
Definitely. So.
Talk. Fuck you. Call me Snake.
Our sound is very diverse, to be honest. I mean, there are moments when we're just really fucking aggressive, and then, as you can hear from the fucking anti-crew rover, it's just fucking 80s metal.
It's fast. It's fucking stupidly fast music. It's stupid fast music. It's 220 beats a minute and no ballads, no corny shit. And the only time we'll ever write a ballad is Don't Feed the Bitch is a love story. In a lot of respects. No, it's the story of one girl's love for food. And
I love food.
Yeah, but she really loved food. She loved the food, like most girls love the D. She loved the food. She loved the F. Our sound's just stupidly fast, shred metal with punk elements. That's why it's hyper thrash. Fuck. Love stories. I suppose we could write one. I'm sorry I slept with all your friends. That would be pretty interesting. I'd like to do a concept like that.
Fun.
So, and you heard it here first. Well, what would you say about? Well, Jason isn't here, obviously. How are we going to explain? What would he say? I like cake. Yeah, it's just fast. That's it. Fast. It's really stupidly fast music. There's nothing else to know about it. Our songs. Like, we can sit down and our standard pop song procedure of writing, intro, verse, chorus, solo, outro, and I think a lot of the time
it's just drum solo.
Yeah, on paper it should be fucking 5 minutes long, but whenever we get together and jam it, you usually find it's a minute, 2 minutes,
You've got 5 minutes to spare, listen to our album.
Our songs are pretty fast, and a lot of the time at live shows I find I have to fucking properly talk and introduce each song just to fill up our time slots, and we have plenty of material, but I think I prefer shorter songs though, because there's more of a impact to it, rather than yeah, fucking 8 minutes of industrial wank shit, It's oh, listen to me. I find your body inviting. Don't drop that dirk. So yeah, our song. Cunt. Ours fucking Oxford twat. Fucking Earl Grey tea. Get up! You're disgusting! What are you? We're cracking up now.
If in doubt, dive bomb.
Yeah, that really defines us. But you've got this really cool Venom type thing. I always say you've got a Venom type sound, but you play it like Steve Harris. If you can imagine that, it's But like with your distortion, you know, you're actually a bass player that, although lots of bass players use distortion, but I'm saying you're doing it and using your fingers. Like, is that trickier to play, or how's that fucking?
I only ever use my fingers.
Yeah. No, but I mean with the distortion, you know, because like when we recorded all this stuff for the album, your sound really cuts through in certain places, you know, and I'm thinking, I remember Jeff, you know, our producer, was saying like a lot of the times when you're playing bass with your fingers, it doesn't cut through like as clear as it would if you were using a pick, but yours really does.
Just gotta hit it harder. It's as simple as that. Just
slap it like a bitch. I'm gonna give you a bass lesson, cause you need it. Yeah, that's all there is to know about our sound. Tell you what, listen to us, you know, buy the album. Buy. And buy it and let us know what you think it sounds like. Cheers.